everybody, and welcome to the Wannabes Podcast. I am your host, Luke Walters. This is my co-host, Anthony Sturdivant, aka the Dreaded Fiend. What's going on, my guy?
So far, so good. I'm just a hungry boy. How about you?
I heard it. Like I said, I'm probably going to have to step away for a second just to get the food in the house, but I will definitely eat it after the show. Other than that, not too much. It's another day in the life. Excited to talk to you about this one, especially after what we had to say about Stranger Things. Like, I'm kind of excited.
All right, let's see that. I just remembered that. Yeah.
Kind of excited. But yeah, so we got our review of It Welcome to Derry. That is what we will be reviewing tonight. But before that, we got a little bit of news. Anthony, my guy, take it away.
All right, you guys. So while we're on the topic of something horror related and supernatural, who remembers The Conjuring? Because we thought it ended like last year. I guess not, because The Conjuring is coming out with a prequel movie titled The Conjuring: First Communion, which will be released on September 10th, 2027. Now, keep in mind that I always actually get my news on Twitter, actually. Or, no, I'm not calling it X. Okay, shut up. Let's see. I want to see if there's anything on casting or anything. Nothing yet, actually. I would at least hope the younger actors who portrayed oh god, I'm blanking on names. Hold on a second. Ed and Lorraine, who played the young versions in Last Rise, would hopefully return. That would be neat. But if not, whatever it happens.
Forgive it.
So yeah.
So the people that they got to play the young Warrens in this last movie were different from the ones that did it in the previous movie. So I'm curious. I bet you they do recast them. And I bet you they give it a little bit more thought too. So I'm kind of curious where they might go with in that direction. But like, I don't need this. I don't necessarily want this. And like, what cases are even like worth a damn anymore? We got the haunted house from the first one. We got the Enfield poltergeist. They briefly did Amityville. We got the one that went on trial. And we got this last one. I don't think we really need to do any more of these. And I mean, who really gives a shit about the humble beginnings of the Warrens? We kind of already know the story, I guess is what I'm getting at.
And let's not forget that Last Rise did show us their first case that involved the mirror right before their daughter was born. So it's like, yeah, I'm with you there. I don't care. Like, I have been the most vocal person who thought the Conjuring franchise was overrated, actually. So, seeing that we're getting another thing, just whatever at this point.
The first two are classics. Will always be classics. It is what it is. I don't know. There's other if we're gonna continue to do these off of stories, off of shit that's in that room, the fucking don't touch room. There's way more interesting objects in there than the ones that we've gotten so far. So I mean, the fucking demons and ghosts that they're fighting better be just all around more interesting.
Perhaps so. I will only stand by that. I think The Conjuring 2 is the best one, as I know The Conjuring 1 is classic, but I honestly just find that movie boring.
I don't disagree with the statement.
Like I've said, I'm kind of the resident hater of Conjuring films, actually.
Not a hater, but I might be with you with the second one being better. And I mean, I'm not a hater of the Conjuring films. I don't care about the Annabelle. I don't care about the Nun. I don't care about the other La Llorona. That movie wasn't anything particularly great either. Like, I didn't need this to have spin-offs. Just keep giving me the Warrens doing what they do, because the whole reason to go was for Patrick and Vera. Now they're not here anymore. Like, whoever comes in to play the young ones now, you got big shoes to fill, because eventually your characters are supposed to turn into what Patrick and Vera gave us. So yeah, that's a big shoes to fill, and I just want them to be scary again. So if we can go back to having these movies being scary, then I'll be okay. But if not, then I don't care.
Fair enough. All right. So let's move on to a little bit of some superhero news, actually. I want to save that last one for last, because that's the one I have, I think, the most to say, possibly.
Okay.
But so we've talked on the podcast multiple times about the upcoming Blade film starring Mahershala Ali, which was supposed to be released at different time frames, but it keeps getting delayed. It keeps getting pushed back. Then it's not on schedule no more. According to Screen Time, Blade is rumored to be canceled at Marvel Studios, which is really saddening. But it is possible that Marvel will be pivoting towards a Midnight Suns movie, actually. And for those who don't know, the Midnight Suns is basically what I'm going to call I call it the quote unquote horror team of Marvel, actually. It consists of members like Blade, Doctor Strange, Punisher, Moon Knight. It is gone. Is even getting a few X-Men, a few Avengers, and I think the reason I'm most kind of happy about this is the possibility of Ghost Rider.
That'd be nice if that's where this goes. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time Marvel, the MCU, has introduced a group of heroes via a team movie. Like, it's worked multiple times in the past, and I guess it can work again. I would hope that, like, I'm a biased Ghost Rider fan, actually, too, and I am a big fan of the Robbie Reyes iteration of Ghost Rider, and we have had Robbie Reyes in the past in the ABC series, Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., played by Gabriel Luna, who did a great job, if you ask me. And, there was a time where the Netflix Marvel was not necessarily canon, but now it is, now that, what the hell? Who plays Daredevil? What's his name?
Charlie Cox.
Charlie Cox. I almost called him Charlie Day. Making his appearances in the Spider-Man films, along with She-Hulk. So, like, hey, maybe they can take in some Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and we can get Gabriel Luna back as Ghost Rider, possibly, considering how this is already established how it works. Also, I should have Blazing Ghost Rider. Let me talk about the rest of the thing, actually, too. Like, if that happens, that's cool, actually, too. Like, I would hope Midnight Suns would be kind of horror, then we can actually really have a solid horror superhero film. And because I would like to see that actually go down properly.
Oops. That one. There we go. If this is the plan, then I would just rather, like, give me the Blade movie, give me a Ghost Rider movie, give me another season of Moon Knight, give me, I don't know, I can't really think of who else would be in there, but anyway, give me the individual movies, then give me the Avengers of that, and give me a Midnight Suns movie. That'd be dope as fuck. I don't just want a Midnight Suns movie. Let me get some build up. Why not? You were already gonna make a Blade movie anyway. Now you can make it tie into Midnight Suns. I don't need an origin story for Blade. I have it already. People can definitely still and will still watch Wesley Snipes' Blade. So Blade's already been established. I don't need to do that. But you can take Blade and now establish Midnight Suns. Like, why not? That'd be sweet. But if they're just gonna jump into Midnight Suns, then okay, cool. That's great too. But like, do something, because I'm sick of hearing about it, and I did want Blade. I still want Blade. So figure it out.
I would too, actually.
Yeah.
Also, shoot, I just realized too, like Moon Knight will come back, and I've been waiting for more Moon Knight because I love that show. And also, if they were to do Midnight Suns, as much as I love Doctor Strange, I have been waiting. So another character that I've been waiting for the MCU to hopefully introduce is Brother Voodoo, actually. He's like the Haitian voodoo variation of Doctor Strange, who I find very, very fascinating, that I would like to see in this world, considering that his brother, Daniel Drum, who actually was a very, very minor character in the first Doctor Strange movie, exists. And we do know that Marvel does like to do things and then come back to it very much later. And I'm still hoping that Brother Voodoo can become an actual character.
Yeah, I'm on board with whatever. Midnight Suns would definitely make me happy, but like, some build-up would be cool too. Yeah.
Perhaps so. Maybe we'll get it after Doomsday or whatever. Who knows? Or Secret War.
Maybe.
Who knows? All right. So the last thing. So, God of War fans. Also, I don't know if I've ever. Are you a God of War fan?
I am a fan, but my knowledge and gameplay has been lacking. Whereas, like, I played one.
No worries, homie. I got you.
It stunned him for a second.
So for years and years, rumors have circulated about possibly making a God of War movie, along with rumors of who could play Kratos, from Vin Diesel, The Rock, whoever else is a bald-headed giant or something like that. And then I think it was a few years ago where it was announced that Amazon was going to be making a new God of War series, live action, but it's based off the Norse era, not the Greek era, which is what started. And I didn't hear about it for a good minute until recently, where it came out online that we have casting officially. We officially have our first look at casting for the God of War live action series. First off, the big one is Ryan Hurst will be playing Kratos, and that's interesting because, well, I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. I don't know much about Ryan Hurst. The only thing I know about this man, and this is what's so funny, is that he played Thor in God of War Ragnarok. So it's like, wait. You guys got the guy to play Thor to play Kratos. That's interesting. And looking at this picture on Twitter, I mean, the beard match is just dye it with more black with some gray spots, and like, yeah, you got it. And just shave the head. So that's kind of hilarious to me. I love that actually. So well, I don't know. I love that. I love the ironicness of Thor playing Kratos. Look, since you didn't hear me, Ryan Hurst was cast as Kratos, and it's funny because he plays Thor in God of War Ragnarok, who I thought I was gonna have most beef with, but then I ended up not hating him anymore.
Yeah.
And we also, oh,
nope. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm sorry. The next bit of casting that was announced was that Teresa Palmer had been cast as Lady Sif. And as far as I'm concerned, I think that's all the casting that came out. But let me double check that actually. So, any thoughts on that, my boy?
Yeah, I'm excited. The games look amazing. Like I said, I these are things that I should play. I'm sure I would enjoy them. Just haven't gotten around to it. But this gives me motivation to do it because I would like to know the lore way more than I already do. And I mean, good choice. The dude is a good actor. For anybody that's seen Sons of Anarchy, he's great in that. So yeah, I mean, I feel like it's in good hands. But I don't know. We still kind of tend to temper our expectations given the fact that we've been burned more times than not. However, Fallout's supposed to be good. The Mortal Kombat movies are good. Fucking Silent Hill comes out this week. Yeah, Sonic was good. Like, it's the trend is going up. So I'm assuming that the people in charge of this at least give enough of a damn to not give me a half-assed product. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Witcher was good. Should have thrown that out there. So I have faith that it'll at least be decent.
All right. I will say so. Also, I didn't know this. They also announced that Max Parker, who I actually don't know who this is, will be playing Heimdall. But looking at this guy's images on images, I'm like, yeah, you look like you can play a complete asshole who I want to see die.
Yeah, I'm sure those of you that are actually big time fans of this are probably a little bit hype, and I don't see a reason why the casting should be looked at as bad, other than maybe you just want to troll or something like that. But otherwise, it looks like they're doing what they're supposed to do. He looks like he can pull it off, and I wait for Amazon to put it out and watch it.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, the trend has been broken. I still find it very interesting to start strictly at the Norse era rather than the Greek era. But yeah, like people have defended that choice as well because the Greek era of God of War was, I don't want to say lacking on story, but it definitely wasn't the driving point like the newer games are actually, which are very story rich, world building, character driven. Like Kratos in the old games is a rageful monster, if I'm being like, who is bloodthirsty, only seeks vengeance, doesn't have much character to a degree, has sometimes an arc, but not necessarily something that I would say will maybe 100% work on screen, considering that video game to screen is going to be very different. So it's possible that we'll get Kratos' story via flashbacks, hopefully do high budgeted flashbacks where we get a solid look at the Greek world in the God of War series. And who knows, they could still recreate some of the epic fights that he has in the past from fighting Ares, Zeus, Poseidon. You know what? I'm pivot real quick. God of War community. Was Poseidon's death really at the top of the list of the worst things Kratos did? Are we sure about that? Because I watch a lot of videos, like kind of meme videos of like the gods after they fought Kratos, or Atreus want to know more about Kratos' past. And like at the top of the list of like some horrible stuff is the way Poseidon dies. And I was like, maybe I'm desensitized, but was it that bad? Really?
I'll let you know when I play the games. As far as this is concerned, I feel like it's just trendy, and those Norse games are the newest ones, right? And they've won. I'm not saying that the originals are bad or that they didn't win awards, but I know how much these fucking ones have. So, yeah, I think it's just the trendy thing. That's all.
Maybe so. I still do think maybe it's a story thing, considering how the Norse games are told, actually.
Okay.
So there's that. But so I will be on the lookout for that, and I have some hope there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And that's all the news I have, and I'm not going to talk about what else is bookmarked to my Twitter.
We will not be talking about your ex right now. All right, so that
Wannabes After Dark.
Oh my god, that is our news for the day, and yeah, let's get. It's gonna say movie review, but it's series review. Let's get into our review of It. Welcome to Derry. Do you have notes or anything, my guy?
All right. So let me start. I have the Wikipedia page open actually right now, so we can start there. So we don't have box office, we can't do that, but we can at least talk about a little development news actually. So it was actually talked about for a good minute after It Chapter 2 about a possible third film exploring more origins of Pennywise, which I was like, no. And sorry, I had a brain malfunction there for a sec. So that was up in the air for a while. It wasn't until March of 2022 when Variety reported that Andy Muschietti, who was the director of the first two films, along with that trash-ass Flash movie, Barbara Muschietti, Spaghetti, and Jason Fuchs, I don't know how to say his last name, were developing and serving as executive producers of a prequel series rather than an actual film, and it would have been an HBO Max original, which was, of course, titled Welcome to Derry, which took place in the 1960s before the events of the film, and would have also included the origin of Pennywise. And it received production commitment in November of 2022, and Fuchs, I'm just going to say that.
No, that's
along
what
with
it is.
Brad...
It's Anthony Fuchs. I just saw
it. Jason Fuchs, actually.
Oh, yeah, Jason Fuchs.
Who cares? Okay, so Fuchs and Brad Caleb Kane were hired as co-showrunners, actually. The series was given a green lit in February of 2023, with Andy Muschietti directing multiple episodes, including the pilot, written by Fuchs, and Bill Skarsgård would serve as an executive producer. And also would return as our titular clown, or creature, should I say, actually.
Creature.
So yeah, Bill returned as in his role, along with Jovan Adipo, whatever, Chris Chalk, Taylor Page, and James Remar, along with Stephen Ryder, Madeline Stowe, and many others actually as well. So yeah, that's the news I have for development of this series actually. So when it comes to the premise of the show as a whole, before we dive more into depth of it, because this has been out for a minute, so we can spoil it as much as we want at this point. In 1962, a couple with their son moved to Derry, Maine, just as a young boy disappears. With their arrival, bad things begin to happen in town. Bad, strange things, but not stranger things.
Hilarious.
Yeah, hilarious, yeah. So that's our basic premise, but the show does go deeper into some plot lines with our characters, with the origins, and one really stupid plot line.
Yeah, the show's been out for a minute, so I don't care if we spoil things. There's really nothing to spoil at this point, but there's definitely some things in this show that have me scratching my head because it's kind of it is retcons. Yes. And I did make sure to back to back this. I went on a bit of an It kick, so I started with the show, and then it got me really intrigued into the movies. Watched the movies again. It puts the movies in a different context to the point. Actually, I'll save that for later. But it does put the movies into a different context for me. I'm not happy with every choice that they made in the show so far, but I do like what they did overall. I do have to admit, I thought it was pretty clever and pretty interesting what they were doing. I
am on the same page there. The best way I can say this show as a whole is, if you told me this was just its own thing based off It without the first two movies, I would have been a lot nicer. But since we have those first two movies along with a novel to like go along with, then we have problems, because I am a fan of It, of aspects of the novel and the movies. Like, even if Chapter 2 was just a what the fuck comedy, but I am a genuine fan who knows the lore of a lot of stuff and remembers a lot of stuff. So watching this show retcon a lot of things and make me question a lot of things makes me think, what the fuck?
Well, I'm gonna start with Bill, because I did like his performance in this, and I do like that they give him more stuff to do outside of Pennywise the clown. He's still not in it very much, but the stuff that he is in are done really well, and there is that origin story to a point, because it sounds like, especially if they keep doing seasons of the show, we're just gonna get more and more in depth with the origin story the further back we go. But the little bit of time that we did spend with him before he becomes Pennywise the clown, it was pretty interesting. It was cool to see. It was nice to see in moments like maybe there is a human side still in there, kind of being played up a little bit. And Pennywise is pretty fucking ruthless in the show, and I dug that. Like, you know what I said. I'll get into it more earlier, but later. But what I said about Stranger Things and how there's no stakes. This fucking show had some stakes. People be dropping.
That is true.
And
just in that first episode.
And there's nobody that's like safe either. Yeah, especially the first episode. There's nobody that's safe. It doesn't matter where you're at on like the call sheet or like your age. Pennywise will get you. There's some interesting subplots going on, and
Well, hold on a sec. Oh, I'm sorry. Before you go far, because I want to stay on Bill for a minute, because I have thoughts too.
Yeah. So Bill, Pennywise isn't in it as much as I would have liked, but I did like how much he was in it, and what I got to see in the performance overall was pretty fucking good.
So Bill Skarsgård still brings it. He was great as Pennywise in the first two films, actually, and I think Loki, he's even better here, considering what you said, because he is more ruthless, actually. Yeah. Which gives me to the joke: why the fuck are you like taking it so easy on the Losers Club? Like, seeing what Pennywise does in this show. I mean, let me rephrase that. Seeing what it does in this show really has me thinking, what kind of, you are on complete demon time here. What happens like 27 years later? Yes, Bill isn't in it as much, but surprisingly, I think that was a good thing.
Yeah.
Now, I understand. So I've been watching a lot of It content actually lately too. There's a dude on YouTube who broke down like comparing the movies to the novels. And like in the novel, like, Pennywise is a presence, of course, but there's a lot of other forms that take a lot of screen time as well. And the forms aren't gonna really translate well to a modern day movie now and everything like that. But I like that this show. So the reason I really like this too is because one thing that I gave a lot of praise in It Chapter 2, and I say 1 still did this, is that it did show off the more monstrous, animalistic side of it. And I do like that it takes a minute before Pennywise even shows up, and we get to see all the other forms it takes, how it's messing with people. And even some other forms are like, hey, I don't know why, but it in the form of a moose, I really like for some reason. Like an evil, like, murdering moose. Or even Uncle Sam, too. I don't know why that Uncle Sam form was, like, so entertaining to me.
Well, it was kind of a nice jump scare. Comes out of nowhere.
Yeah. Yeah, so seeing it do more in other forms rather than just the titular Pennywise actually I thought was a really good thing too. And it gave a nice build up for his return by episode 5, which was an awesome reveal. So when it comes to the human stuff though, so this show does dive into the origin of how it became Pennywise. And I don't know if the novels ever went into this, but I do know that It Chapter 2 alluded to the idea that Bob Gray was a real person who was a clown before it happened. And in the show, they established, yes, exactly that. Also played by Bill Skarsgård, Bob Gray was a circus clown who was killed by it, and then it took that form. And that becomes a very interesting plot point, too.
Yeah, it shows how much the entity, the creature, puts into the thought process of being able to like lure people to their death and shit, and like realizes, like literally shows it's just watching, it's like, oh fuck, the clown works, let's try that.
Yeah.
And that's really all it is. Yeah, that's pretty interesting and a lot of fun to see. Once he take the form of a little kid to get Bob by himself.
I love that the kid, like, it says like the kids really like you.
Yeah,
that's a very interesting thing. What the hell was that voice? That always made me laugh.
Bill's Bob voice.
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Bill's yes.
I do enjoy. I'm not going to get into like the plot points, but seeing it from, there's a Native American group that's in here, there is a military group that's in here, there's just the normal folks in here. Like you get this from a lot of different angles with this story, and I do like that, and seeing how everybody reacts to it and how it affects their lives. I won't get into what it means later, but just in this story, in this context, I do like how everybody handles their jobs. I think every character is pretty well defined, and even though I don't necessarily like the choices that are made, I do understand why and how we got to those points. I think this show and the writing did a really good job of showing that gradual progress, and even like, you know, the fact that they really go into the point of when you leave Derry, like you forget, and it's something that's alluded to in chapter 2 of it, but they get into it a little bit more here, and with god damn it, what the hell is his name? I know it's James Remar who plays him, but
Francis Shaw.
Yeah, he plays General Francis Shaw, who is a child that 27 years ago had his own experience with the entity and forgot about it. And now he's back in Derry for whatever reason, and you know, he's remembering everything, and he's got prior knowledge. I do like how this show uses the generations and like shows, hey, it affected us at this point, we're still here, and we're ready for what's coming next. I do like how the town has sort of mobilized to deal with the situation.
I will say Shaw's plotline and what he wants is the plotline that I think is the stupidest.
I agree. I agree.
So, like, do you want to talk about that now, or
go ahead.
Save it?
First of all, James Remar is one of my absolute favorites. My man has been in everything from this to the fucking Warriors. He is one of the fucking G's. But yeah, his character by the time we get to the end of the season is fucking stupid.
Absolutely stupid. So of course, if you hear military, it's that same dumbass military plot line. They want to use this thing for a weapon. They want to use it to strike fear into the United States to keep it under control. That's dumber than trying to use dinosaurs in wars. Like the fuck, I thought Jurassic World had the top dumb military plot.
Well, I mean, and like they kind of play it up. I don't know, it's maybe like the Cold War scare or some shit, but like, yeah, I just, for a story like this, I think it's a dumb plot point, and it's a dumb way to take it. Now, if Shaw was there to be a more active role in destroying said thing, and that drives him a little nuts with the way he's going about it, I think that might have worked a little bit better. But nah, him trying to weaponize it, it's like it's so dumb, and obviously it's gonna backfire.
Of course, because I love how it does. I love because like, so later I want to save one specific character for a little later.
Yeah.
But Pennywise is literally like stuck, like mentally stuck for a sec, and then once he's freed, he like comes face to face with Shaw, and he's like, "It's okay, you can go free." And Pennywise looks like, and then he sniffs him like, "Hey, wait a minute, I remember you. I'll never forget a smell." And he starts scaring him like, "Oh, hold on now. Don't maybe have to teach you eats him." Just like, thank you.
Should have just ate him anyway. I was a little annoyed at the fact that he legit was like gonna walk off. He's like, well, I'm free, like I'm good. Like, no, fucking eat, do something to this guy. He's the reason you're there in the first place.
Now, hold on, actually, too, because I mean, Pennywise has worked with people. Like he worked with Henry Bowers.
Yeah,
he doesn't really work with Ingrid, but like he used Ingrid. Like there are times where he's like, okay, maybe I'll let you live just because it benefits me. But then he's like, hey, wait a minute, I always wanted to eat you. Fuck, okay, hold on a second, let me devour you first, then I'm leaving.
Yeah, I guess. I did notice that there is a little bit of a formula to it. You know what I mean? Like this show in 8 episodes it's basically the plot of the first movie. There's enough differences and twists in there to where I do believe that it stands on its own. But like it's still the basic formula of kids getting terrorized, breaking up, coming back together, and like all that shit.
Yep. So with that being said, let's talk about the kids actually too, because the kids involve Lily. I have mixed feelings. Let me start this off. I don't like Lily. I really don't like Lily, and I actually don't even have a answer why. I just don't.
Lily's character I dig, but like I guess the performance and how fucking annoying she can be sometimes. Yeah. No, I agree.
Maybe that's what it is. So there's Lily. There's Ronnie. I actually do like Ronnie. Ronnie.
Hold on a second. I just want to bring this up because I think for me, the reason why I give the character a pass is the fucked up shit they do to her. Because like, yeah, she's annoying, but they put her through the most fucked up shit for a child. Like that's so messed up what they do to her. That where I'm like, all right, like I guess I'll give you a pass, but God, you're annoying.
You know, that makes sense too, because I always try to get sympathetic, like, bro, she is going through it, but you just I don't know, something about you just do not win me over. You really don't.
But they really do. They're like, well, you were stable for 5 minutes. That's too long, and then they just fuck her over. I'm like, holy shit. Yeah, that character, that child character gets put through a lot. All right, you can go on now.
Yeah. So then there's Ronnie. Ronnie, I actually do like Ronnie and Will. Let me say, I'll also bring Will into this too, actually.
Will's sweet.
And you can call, yeah, like, oh, but I have problems though. But it's not necessarily Will as a character; it's other people regarding Will, and so I'll save that actually. Then there's also Marge, who at first I did not like, and for obvious reasons, but by the end, yeah, okay, you're cool.
And Richie.
And then there's Rich, who I also did not like at first. It wasn't until the very last episode where I was like, okay, let me take back my dislike for you, actually.
Oh, Rich was my guy the second he showed up. I was like, I love this kid. I love everything about
I don't
him.
remember. I forgot exactly why I didn't. I think I also found him a little annoying too. But like his he has two big scenes. His scene in the second to last episode, yeah, rough. I mean, I wasn't necessarily sad because, like, I mean, we'll talk about more of that detail later, actually, because that's quite a scene. But by the last episode where he has this big moment, it's like, okay, we're good. We're cool here now.
They kind of try to flip it on you and trick you a little bit with the first group of kids, because there's two groups of kids in this movie, or in the show.
There is.
I can't think of the names of the first ones.
Phil, Teddy, and Susie. I have them up right now. And fun fact, Teddy is actually related to Stanley in the first and second movie.
Oh, wow.
I forgot exactly how. Yeah, he's Teddy Uris, whatever.
Oh, shit.
Along with yeah, there's that.
Yep.
So yeah, there are ties to the characters of the first film stuff, but the kid group didn't win me over immediately because I do have still negatives, and I kind of call them the bootleg losers club.
Yeah, no, I don't. So, I don't disagree. That's what I'm saying. Like you once I realized it's like, oh yeah, okay, I know where this is going. Just because like it's the plot of the first movie that's when I was like, okay, well, I guess this is what we have to do, and I get it. But yeah, once you get to the fucking formula of it, it's like, okay, now this is the new losers club. Yeah, I guess I don't know which one I would take, the ones from the movies or the ones in the show, but I do like what they do with the kids in the show.
Fair enough. As time went on, I was more about them, but I'm definitely the movie. Because I think there were less characters that annoyed me. The only character who really I didn't fully love was Bill, but that's for like reasons that were actually like fixed in chapter 2.
Yeah, I might be pro series on this one, but go ahead.
Oh yeah, that's just me. But again, by the end, I was more on board and everything like that too.
No, I get it.
But also, fun fact about Will is that Will is if this young Will, he will be the father of Mike, who is portrayed by Chosen Jacobs and Isaiah Mustafa in chapter 1 and 2.
And
so yeah, that is Mike's daddy.
Leroy Hanlon, Will's dad. Mike's grandpa is in this as well. Javon.
Yep. I only know him from the movie Overlord.
Yo, that is him.
Yeah, he looks so much older now, doesn't he?
Holy shit! What a great movie. Good pull.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
And fucking before you get it, and my fucking Mike Hanlon, or not Mike Hanlon, Dick
Halloran.
There's two, like I while I was watching the show, I was like Hanlon. Yeah, Dick Halloran is in this as well. And I look, biasy reasons, probably my favorite character.
No, so literally, other than Pennywise, he's my favorite character too. I love Halloran. In this show.
Great use of him, like 100%. I love that everything that they did with him. I think that was an excellent choice. I mean, it brings up more questions than answers, but that was good use. Good use of Halloran. Good use of Dick.
Good, that was some good Dick.
That was some good Dick.
Now I will without getting into the problems, we will just say this right now that Dick Halloran is also a character very important to the Stephen King universe because he is a character from The Shining.
Honestly, and it's something like, man, I'd love to see him pop up in more shit. Like, too bad Stephen, I don't know, at the time didn't think like I could have this character cross over in all my shit. You know, that would have been dope. But they use him really well, and it's nice to see. It seems like Dick's whole story seems to be he's kind of in this weird middling ground with his powers. He's like powers for hire. He doesn't give a shit. He's just trying to get paid. And then obviously things start to take on more of an important role, and he does actually get some time to go head to head with Pennywise, and I love those scenes. Oh, those are nice.
So do I, actually. So yeah, he is my second favorite character of this whole thing, actually.
I also wanted to know what was in the box.
Oh, So I'll say this right now. I'm not a Shining fan like that, but I do sort of understand the story, and I do understand. I think I also understand Dr. Sleep. But if I remember, the box is when you take the things that you fear the most and you just lock them away.
Correct.
And I think it being open is just a way for Pennywise to use against them, because like Halloran is the only person other than another item that's like, you're a problem. So it's like, let me try to get in your head. And I think it also involves the fact that so Halloran has the Shining, he can talk to spirits and stuff like that. He sees them, but he shouldn't talk to them, otherwise they can like really get to him. And there is a point where he's like forced, like, hey, I gotta talk to the spirit. And I think the box being open had something to do with his also declining mental state as the show went on.
It does a really good job with that and fitting into that universe as well, because of the rules that are established in The Shining and Dr. Sleep, especially because like the box thing is a major part of Dr. Sleep. So I do like that they fit those rules in, and Andy was very good enough to have this fit in that world as well. I mean, that's a callback. The box is a callback, and that's fucking sweet. So yeah, I will rave all day about what they did with Dick Halloran. And again, it was nice to see actual like conflict between the baddie and like essentially everybody. Pennywise kind of mixes it up with everybody in this show. I say he's not in it a lot. He's not, but he still has his moments with every fucking character.
His presence is felt hardcore.
Yeah, and the other forms too.
So it's like, it is always kind of around. Just Pennywise takes a minute to get around because there are only 8 episodes. Bill doesn't show up as Pennywise until episode 5, although we did get hints of him, because like, as a massive fan, like that hallucination he gives Ronnie about with her mom, like, again, what the fuck? But then you like look into the darkness and you see those eyes, like, yep, those are Pennywise's eyes. Like, I know my man crush anywhere, like I know his eyes. And then it's like also like the little motions, like you're like, you know how he runs and he's got like that head shaking thing and everything like that.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of forms that do a lot of references to what Bill does as Pennywise. I'm like, yep, I see that. I see that.
Yeah. We're getting there.
Yeah,
I do want to say, since we're talking about the kids, that I don't like that it seems to be every child in this show is like, like directly connected to the kids that are in the movies. I don't like that.
I don't either, because we got to save it, because that's just a big problem for me.
Well, I mean,
especially Marge. Okay, here, like especially for Leroy, Will, and Marge, but we'll talk about that in a little while. Yeah. And also, speaking of Leroy, the adults in the show also do a good job.
Yes.
So yeah,
and within the confines of the show, I'm gonna say it's pretty fucking great. It's pretty great.
Yes.
In it as the bigger universe, maybe not so much.
Yeah, there's that. But shout out to Leroy. I mean, Jovan as Leroy, Taylor Page as Charlotte. Major shout out. She was also one of my favorite characters in this show, actually, too.
Yeah.
Steven Ryder as. Yeah, I do also like the effects. Sorry, they don't always look real, but I don't mind it.
I don't mind to jump around. So I mean.
Yes, okay. We also have Steven Ryder as Hank Grogan, who. I've got some mixed feelings there, considering stuff. We already talked about fucking Shaw. Also, we have Peter Outerbridge as Clint Bowers, who is Henry Bowers' grandfather, if I'm correct. Yes, grandfather,
Yeah.
who was police chief. So I guess that was running in the family.
Yeah, great.
And of course, he's a racist dick. We also have Kimberly Guerrero as Rose, who is a Native American woman who owns a pawn shop, who also is like a part of like this Native American group who like keep track. It kind of sucks, like where you're just keeping track of dead kids. Like, all right, it went to sleep. All right, we're good. See you in 27 years.
Yeah, they're just trying to make sure like they keep the genie in the bottle the best that they can, because the whole premise, well, part of the premise of the show is the area that Pennywise can hunt is very defined. Like if you are outside of the zone, you're good. So I mean, yeah, it was nice to see them just be like, if we can save you and keep you out of the way, we're good. But if not, yeah, well, I mean, we know what we're dealing with here, so we warned you, type of shit. And it was cool to see that. And I'll leave it there.
Yeah, there's that. Also, shout out to Rudy Mancuso as Polly. Yeah, and I want to give a shout out because this dude started as a Viner, and I remember the days when I was on Vine religiously, and I remember his Vine, so it was cool to see him put in a really good performance here. So all the people do good job.
What other positives do you want to get into? Because I'm struggling to stay away from the negative.
Well, okay, so we're talking about performances, the effects. I mean, they're cool.
Yeah.
Music.
There's practical effects in this show. There is, but this is a franchise that has been pretty reliant on the CGI. And like I said, I did the back-to-back thing, so I watched Chapter 2 and still seeing Pennywise with a fucking dog tongue Snapchat filter on him doesn't look great. Like there's bad CGI in this series. It just is what it is. The show I think does a good enough job, but I was in it for the practicals. They were pretty good.
Fair enough. And I gotta really shout out the fact that this show really let Pennywise be a lot more brutal. But then of course I asked, why the fuck were you taking it so easy on the Losers Club, especially with what you know? Now let's get into the bad. Let's do it. Where do you want to start?
Well, I'll just start where I was trying to earlier. I don't like that everybody in this show is directly connected to somebody in the movies, because it's a fucking contradiction to the movies at a lot of points, man.
Like, let's do it. Okay, so first of all, you got Will. Also, I won't talk about the fact that this show even exists is a problem for me too, but I'll talk about that a little bit. But like, okay, so Will, you had a son with whoever. I don't know if it's gonna be Ronnie and stuff like that, and you didn't leave Derry. And you know what Derry's like. Not only the fact that it's a really racist town, but like, you know that at some point in 27 years, that motherfucking clown will wake up again and your kid will not be safe because you were not safe. And also like to the fact that Will does not survive, so Mike is grazed by Leroy. Leroy, you know about Pennywise. Why the fuck are you still here? Why the fuck are you sending Mike? Why the fuck aren't you telling Mike this stuff? If you don't leave, if you're still gonna be the whole look, I'm staying in Derry to make sure nobody messes with the barriers and stuff like that again.
Does a terrible job.
But yeah, but you don't tell him. You don't tell your kid. Listen, son. The reason we live on the outskirts of Derry is because in Derry there is something very evil that will fuck with you, especially because you're a kid. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then there's Marge. Marge, because one of the big reveals in the final episode was that Marge is the mom of fucking Richie, played by Finn Wolfhard and Bill Hader in 1 and 2. You went through this. That clown was face to face with you. He told you were going to have a son. That son was... The only bad explanation I can give is that she knew that my son would cause the death of Pennywise, so maybe that's what she didn't worry. But what? You don't say nothing? What?
This thing basically makes you gouge your eye out, and yeah, you don't say shit. That is the biggest no this show does. Is it basically retcons its whole fucking lore, all of its rules, the entire franchise, and unless they intend to redo it 1 and 2 at some point. Like, this doesn't make any fucking sense because, again, I said, I back to back to it, and going right into the movies as soon as shit goes down. It's like, where the fuck are your parents? Nobody's left. Everybody's been here. How do we not know what the fuck is going on? Who is it? Stanley's whatever cousin, uncle, whatever the fuck that dude is that dies at the beginning of the show. We don't bring that up. Fucking everything that happened to Leroy. Richie's mom, Marge. Any of them. The Native American tribe that has brought the Hanlons in to fucking join the order of don't let it get out. Like, yeah, by the time the chapter 1 rolls, I'm sitting there just going like, how is this even a thing? Like, how are we doing this? They should already know. Everybody should be in the sewers beating the fuck out of fucking Pennywise.
Exactly. That's oh man. Like, I guess one thing about the Native Americans, like, they also sort of knew more about it in chapter 2, but also, like, is that the same native tribe from this? Because, like,
I'd imagine it
in
is.
This show,
and if it is,
I would think so. Like,
why does Mike get that fucking thing for the ritual Chud at 2, and pretend like he doesn't already have an established relationship with these people? Like, your grandpa works directly with them, and you expect me to believe you have no contact with these people at all? This is all new to you?
Exactly. And also, like, if this is, I mean, I would imagine too, like, other than that, like, how many of them tribes are around Derry, but like, why? So y'all showed him the origin of it in chapter 2 and stuff like that, the forms he took and how to possibly stop it. But where was the other stuff that we learned in this show? Mm-hmm. Where was that other story about, like, that native girl who went to find the piece of the meteorite and stuff like that, which we'll save for a sec too? Which, again, it's a lot of contradicting. There's a lot of retconning going on here, and I don't like it.
No.
And also, to top this off too, like, why was the finale of this season way more impactful and intense and felt like a definite end for it than chapter 2 was?
I was waiting for you to get there because that's what I want to know too, and it does. It absolutely does. By the time it's over, it's like I think we're done here. But no, even Pennywise is like, you're gonna kill me in 27 years. You're not gonna do it today. But like, they fuck him up, man. Yeah, they fuck him up. He doesn't stand much of a chance. He gets his ass whooped, and they even explain it like it's pretty definitive.
Well, I wouldn't even say fully fuck him up, but it's just like, when you have visuals of that damn pillar going into the ground, and then you have these light beams all over the city, and then he morphs back into dead lights form and stuff like that, like, that looks more definitively done in a way than chapter 2.
Yeah.
Like, you had a whole ass foggy winter time go over Derry. It also, for retcon's sake, all this stuff is brought up in the past of Derry. Where was this? We knew about the black spot. That's been established in the novel, but like, what about when a whole school of kids went missing? What about when that weird fog rolled over Derry? Where was that history?
Yeah, how do you explain all the countless deaths that Pennywise fucking makes as he's getting those kids out of the city?
Exactly. Where do you explain the time the military? What about the time? Like, did you guys not? You're not going to explain the time the military was heavily present in Derry too? Like,
yeah,
and this is why I don't like prequel series that aren't like canon to what's already made. Because It Chapter 1 and 2 made their changes, but they were based off the novel for the most part, right? A lot of stuff here is original, and you guys are going bigger in scope. And it's like, wait. Y'all gotta tone it back. Like, this finale felt way more definitive than fucking chapter 2.
I agree. The other thing that I don't like, I mean, we already talked about Lily, but like, yeah, I'm not gonna, they fucking do that girl dirty. What happens to Rich, I thought it ends up paying off. I like where they go with it, but that was one of the characters I was like, damn, I didn't want you to go. You're so cool.
Yeah, because so this show does adapt the black spot fire that was mentioned to be burned up by a racist hate group, which did happen, but it has some more context to it. Intense. I do like the one take, but okay, I'm mixed here. Here's the thing. When Pennywise shows up, I kind of do smile. I'm like, oh god, then there's this fucker. Yeah. Or when Halloran sees like the spirits and stuff like and asks for help. Like, it's an intense scene, and Rich's sacrifice to save Marge is impactful. You know what? the only reason I kind of stopped with this thought is because I remembered, oh yeah, It Chapter 2 did start with a hate crime, and I hated that. And like, I gotta remember that it has these things in it, so I guess I can't be too mad. But there was a moment I thought to myself, there is a part of me that's really sick of, if anything in media nowadays is like black related, I'm kind of sick of seeing the struggle or the racist aspect of it, which I know is a very important part of our history, but it's not always what we have to do.
Yeah. I mean, I don't
But
disagree.
like,
I get it, especially like it is the embodiment of fear. You ever seen you ever seen Hell Sing a Bridge?
I never watched that, but I know what it is, of course.
Fucking hilarious. Anyway, there's a whole thing where like Alucard is talking about how he's just like he's basting a turkey and he calls it the fear turkey, and when it's ripe, like he's gonna fuck it. He wants to fuck the fear turkey. And after it chapter 2, with my buddy that I was watching with, I was like, that's all Pennywise is doing. Like he's just freaking everybody out and stoking fear until like it's cooked enough, and then he comes in and he eats. So it's him fucking the fear turkey. That's all this is. Like it's all happening because of him. They are racist pieces of shit. All this probably was going to happen anyway, but it is there to be the fire that fucking, he's stoking the flames and making it happen sooner. And it's just so he can come in and do what he does when everything goes down, and that's start eating everybody. But yeah, I don't know. It's to add effect. It's to give it more weight. I guess the thing is like whether or not you think it works. I'm mixed on it. Like I definitely think the build up to it, and then seeing it actually like devouring people and basically like seeing a massacre from this creature that's supposed to do massacres. It's nice to actually see that. So I appreciate it from that front. But yeah, no, you're right. It's like it's in everything. It really is.
Yeah, that's my issue. But like again, It Chapter 2 started with a damn hate crime, which pissed me off too. So it's like, you know what, this is the shit that happens in this kind of world. So
yeah.
It kind of made me less mad, but at the same time, it's like, I was less like onto my seat, like hating seeing it because it was happening. It's just like, for me, I just felt like, oh boy, here we go again. Oh shit, here we go again. So yeah. Also shit. We got to talk about fucking Ingrid.
Yeah.
Let me start off right now. I didn't like the plot twist that she was a clown in episode 3 at the end.
Okay.
There's that. And I mean, all her fault that whole black spot fire happened anyway because you fucking idiot. You fucking idiot.
I'm just annoyed that she doesn't die. Like, if we're gonna retcon things, I honestly figure like at this point, Pennywise eats the general for like less. Right now, you're actually dealing with somebody who is following you, essentially, does get in your way, and I like, if I was Pennywise after a couple tries, I'd be like, seriously, you're just annoying me now. Like, you need to go. And he's got that big knife that he's carrying too.
Oh yeah, the fucking the cleaver.
Yeah,
and he cuts her damn husband's head off.
Yeah, he freaking owns that dude. But it's like, just do this and get it over with. And also, like, what is the significance other than the fact that Bev apparently has seen this old lady before?
I did find that rather fascinating. Like, oh, so Beverly saw Mrs. Kirsch once before Pennywise took that form. I found that interesting, but like, again, like, whatever. So for context, that plot line is that Ingrid is the daughter of the original Bob Gray, and we know it killed Bob, took that form. To the townspeople, Bob just went missing until some point, I think in the 30s. Ingrid was working at Juniper Hill mental institution, where a kid said a clown keeps trying to get her into the basement. So she went, and it showed up as Pennywise. And like, I will at least say, here's my one defense on why Pennywise didn't kill her immediately, because this is where I have to give praise to Bill Skarsgård for his facial acting, actually, because she sees Pennywise, and thinks, Dad? And he looks at her like, the fuck? And he starts laughing like, oh, wait, this could be funny. I'm going to have some fun with this, actually. Before killing that kid. Oh, my God. Out of every kid death in anything Mabel, I might have had it the worst.
Yeah, the kids get annihilated in this show. There is
Yeah, but like, you heard Mabel getting devoured, and she was screaming like, "Oh my god!"
there is no
Like
mercy.
they were.
I'm gonna go out on a limb. There's this Chinese vampire movie called Rigor Mortis. It came out in like 2014. Look it up. But there's a very, very impactful scene that actually kind of disturbed me the first time I watched it, and it's essentially the same thing. So I'm wondering if like, and I'm sure Muschietti's probably seen it and maybe took some fucking liberties for that, because they pretty much play out the same way, and like, yeah, it's the same shit. Like the door slams and you just hear it, and it's like, oh my god, somehow that's worse.
I know like, oh, poor kid. She was so scared too.
Yeah, dude.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Kudos to that kid.
And then
That kid
yeah,
understood the assignment.
like, oh, that was rough. And I thought I felt bad for Vicky in chapter 2. I'm like, oh no, Mabel got it definitely worse.
Yeah, Mabel got it way worse.
Got it way worse.
See, but this is what I'm
So,
saying. I mean, if I may for a second, because again, we just got done doing Stranger Things, and my biggest gripe, one of my big gripes about that was like, there's no stakes because nobody dies. This show does not give a fuck. It is going to murder everybody, and you feel that. So now Pennywise feels like a fucking threat. You know what I mean? And especially again, because I watched them back to back to back. The way that we're talking about how this ends and what the kids do, which we'll get to, and how they defeat Pennywise and just Pennywise in general. He is more of a threat to me, maybe even scarier, and goes out in a more definitive way than in the fucking movies. Like, he kind of goes out like a chump in those movies.
Yeah, there's that. Let me challenge that actually too, because
Please challenge.
here's another so like, here's my gripe on that. Like, I get where you're coming from. The problem I have is, again, this is a prequel. Because of my knowledge of it, I know this character has to make it through for the movies to happen.
Right.
Is there stakes? Yes. But it's like, okay, I know freaking Leroy will live. I know Will live through this. I know Marge will live. I know Halloran will live because he's in The Shining.
Yeah.
We know the fate of Pennywise and stuff like that. Like, there are characters like, I know you're gonna be okay. You have fucking Clint Bowers. I know he's gonna be okay. I know Ingrid. Actually, I asked them to see that back because that was just a vision in chapter 2. But like, okay, this is one of those things like a prequel. Like, we know where things have to end up, so it's like, well, we know you're not gonna die and stuff like that. So that's kind of my thing. Did it take stakes away? Not necessarily, but also at the same time, it did. Okay. Like, I feel like there were points where it's like, I know you're gonna be okay because Mike has to be happening, and Will, you need to be alive for that to happen.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
And possibly Ronnie. We never got confirmation if Ronnie's Will's mama. Who knows? Because
I mean, it ends up not mattering because somewhere between this and chapter 1, like, they're no longer with us. They die in the freaking apartment fire. So.
Yep.
So like, yeah, good.
Oh,
glad you made it.
And speaking of like, so going more on keeping on the meta of what I'm angry about, not liking about this show. Mm-hmm. So when Pennywise reveals that Marge will eventually have Richie, he has a line that had me very concerned because, like I said, this is a prequel that I don't think needed to happen. As happy as I am to see more Pennywise, again, this isn't. A lot of the stuff isn't based on the books, so it's like, why are you even here? You up the ante in this show, and then to make the movies feel a little smaller.
Yeah.
But so I think the concept of Pennywise being omnipresent, meaning he experiences past, present, and future, all at the same time. Like, so wait. Not only did the Karens not tell about the kids about Pennywise, you know who's going to be the end of you. Why are you still taking it easy on the losers? And I also don't like the idea that, like, he says, like, is it my death or maybe it's my rebirth? And, like, are you trying to suggest that you're going to keep doing it stuff away from the novels, even though we know what the end of it actually is? Are you suggesting he can come back?
Franchise it, bro.
Exactly. This is exactly why I'm mad about the show existing. It's franchised.
Go off.
Look, again, I love Pennywise. I love Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise, and I like seeing the new forms that we took in this thing because it gave some new light to him. But there comes a point where you gotta stop franchising and let stuff be. The novel had a definitive end. The Losers Club killed it. That was the end of that. The movie did the same thing. Like, it is dead. And we know that because those loser scars went away. Like, we know it's done. In the novel, the whole town of Derry fucking got annihilated, but in the movie, just an evil street house. Like, okay, whatever, that's whatever changed though. Like, it's dead. Why are we trying to now maybe? I'm just gonna say maybe because who knows what they can do because the show wants to go backwards in time with each season. Like maybe Pennywise could somehow come back if you want to do more Pennywise. Like, no, stop, just stop. Let the story be as it was. Why do we need more? And then when you're gonna start making shit up, you might just get worse. You actually might just get worse. And I know a lot of actors who return for a lot of roles, but like considering Bill Skarsgård's got to be in all that makeup and stuff like that, like who knows?
If
he'll want to keep doing it.
I can't add anything to that. That was great. No, yeah, I agree with everything you said.
So it's just God damn it! I got so mad when I heard that line. Like, no, stop. If you guys want to keep going backwards when he was, I think fine, but don't even think about doing something that takes place after chapter 2. Well, don't even think about it.
Well, that's kind of the thing too, is as they're going back in time, it's to give me more of the origin, I suppose. But like, I already have it. It's been explained to me twice. I get it.
Exactly.
I know how we end up where we end up, and now I already know the ending. Like, well, I don't. You told me the beginning in chapter 2. You told me the beginning in this. Like, what else? What else am I gonna glean from finding out that an alien came to Earth and it, possessed Bob?
Mm-hmm.
I know that.
Or ate Bob and took that form.
Yeah, but I know
like,
that.
What else
I know that.
Also, I just want to say this too. Like, you would think again that with Mike, talking with the natives, like, you guys know about the pillars, right? I know you shouldn't mess with them because if that thing is like broken, Pennywise could go further out. But at the same time, like, he kind of has a weakness to that too. And then you tell him about a ritual of Shud that actually didn't even work, huh?
Yeah, then this seemed to be again way more effective of a way to beat it than the ritual or what the losers actually do.
Exactly, and also I just want to say this too. I guess having that explanation of why Pennywise doesn't leave Derry is interesting, but I don't feel like I needed it because I couldn't just make it in my own head. Like, he doesn't leave Derry because that's where he landed. This is just his territory. This is where he prefers to stay.
Right.
I guess there's a part of like, I wonder why you never leave, but I didn't need that. But whatever.
Just as an aside, like, it would make more sense if it was they forget for the 27 years that he's there, and then on the 27th year maybe they remember again, but it's like already too late. Instead of, oh, if you leave the town you forget, but those of us that are here, we still remember, and there's like nothing we can do about it. Like, actually there's a lot you can do about it.
Yes, there really is. Like, we saw here, there's something you can do, even if it might be a little risky, but you can do something.
Yeah. So yeah, this show does retcon a lot of shit, and I don't agree with all of it. I don't, but as its own thing, not bad.
Yeah, that's I'm completely with you there. As its own thing, pretty good. But when you consider the novel and the movies, now we have problems.
Correct. So,
and also, stop. If you're going to try to do more, stop it right now.
I feel like they're gonna give us at least 2 more seasons because the continued backstory, but like after that we can be done. We don't have to do this again.
And truth be told is, like, even if we go back in time, which I guess is somewhat interesting, like, what else are you gonna do? Like, are we just gonna keep going back in time to see, yep, he was alive here? Like, was somebody else fighting him? Did they have to defeat him again? Like,
well, I mean, they kind of explain that too from the first time he lands, and that one chick with the arrow and stuff, and fucking keeping him caged in the first place. Like, you showed it to me, so now you want to dedicate a whole season to that? I mean, fine, I guess, but like, I know what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
I still know how we get here.
So,
yeah.
The fact that this show exists makes me frustrated. But I'm also kind of happy it exists only because we got more Pennywise in a Ruthless More manner.
Well, it's difficult, right? And I mean, do you want to score it?
Yeah, let's score it, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, so it's difficult because I do like the show as its own thing. I love this show as its own thing. And I might even go, especially after the way season 5 with Stranger Things went, like, I might prefer this, honestly, because they're essentially the same thing. But won't get into it too much, but I do feel like there's more stakes. I do feel like Pennywise is way more of a threat. I do enjoy the kids more than I necessarily enjoyed everybody that's in Stranger Things 5 because there aren't as many. There's still a lot of characters, but as far as like this core kid character group that I got to follow, I don't have what did I say? I don't have 6 people being Dustin. I don't have one specific character coming and explaining to me one specific thing type of shit. But this is just the first season of this, so who knows? It could eventually morph into that. But based off of that, I do like this more than season 5. Bill Skarsgård was great. Having Halloran was great. I did like what they did with Hanlon. It's just where it's now supposed to go to is where we start to get into some fucking like I don't really like that territory. And so I'm gonna give it 2 scores because as its own thing, I think this is a 7. And I'm very much in for whatever they're gonna do next. But if I'm gonna take it as the prequel that it is to chapters 1 and 2, I'm gonna unfortunately have to give it like a 5. There's too much retconning. It doesn't all make sense, and it just it really does, like you were saying, it takes away from chapters 1 and 2. And I like chapters 1 and 2, but now watching it after watching this series, shit just doesn't make any sense, and there's so much stuff that could be avoided. But I am going to go with my 7 because I'm reviewing the show.
Yeah. I think I'm on the same boat with you there actually too. As its own thing, I would probably say 8.
Okay.
But with everything in with chapter 1 and 2 and stuff like that, I actually am still, I'm gonna give it a 6. I don't know if I can say 5. 5 would be a little too rough. Okay. So as a whole, I'm gonna say 7 as well. Like I think that my total just general rating is gonna be, I give this show a 7. Again, it's good. It's well acted. I like the effects. I love Bill as Pennywise. I like seeing the other forms of it. I love Halloran. Not all the characters work for me 100%, but they still do a good job. The retconning and the questions I ask is what make it really, really hard and sometimes frustrating to watch it sometimes, even if I can get sucked in. And do I like it more than Stranger Things 5 particularly? My bias for Pennywise says yes, but my liking of a straightforward kind of season for 5, despite my other problems with Stranger Things, it's kind of a rough battle. That's a question I have to answer another day, honestly.
Okay. Yeah,
yeah.
The only thing that I think is outright bad is the military thing. Like that's bad.
That's stupid.
That was dumb. But everything else works pretty good, even with the retcons and the context of it being like, it's still interesting, it's still cool. It's just like, oh, now you got to go into this. And it's like, it doesn't really work. But yeah,
I will also say 3 things. 1, Pennywise has got aura. Yep. 2, I forget that's a big motherfucker too. That is a big motherfucker. And like in my sick and twisted, demented way, I forget this thing is so fucking funny.
He is fun.
I actually had the biggest laugh at the last episode when he was puppeteering the principal, and he shows up, "Hiya, kiddos!" I'm like, bro,
dude, that the when he comes out of being frozen, and even though like, yeah, I don't think he would just like walk off from the general, but that was funny too, and then turn around being like, "Hold on a second,
wait a minute."
That was fun. That cleaver is that shit is hilarious when he comes walking out with that shit and the way he's holding it. That's some anime shit, bro.
That fucking skip he does at the end too in the fucking fog when he's like trying to leave, like, "Hey, later, motherfuckers."
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise is goated. He is having so much fun, and it shows. It's great. Yeah. So 7 for sure.
Yeah. Good show, but a lot of problems considering everything else, but on its own,
yep,
really good.
Yep. Cool.
The only reason I'm will watch another season is because I get more Bill as Pennywise. That is honestly it.
I'm gonna take a quick look-see here. But what do you think we should do next?
Okay, so you brought up Night Patrol. I brought up 28 Years Later.
Yeah, but I'm actually, like, I want to see that, and I would like to review it, but, dude, Silent Hill 2 comes out.
Okay. Okay. You know what? Okay. We can do that.
Yeah. So
I'll. When does it actually drop? Like this weekend?
yeah, Friday.
All right. All right. We can do a Silent Hill review then. Let's do that.
Yeah, so there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, thank you everybody that stuck with us the entire time and hung out with us while we gave you our review of It. Welcome to Derry. It's a show with problems. You know, you just gotta I don't know, understand what you're getting into. I feel like, especially if you're a fan, because this show will have you scratching your head on some shit. But it is still very good. That being said, if you do not follow us on our socials, please do. That is X, that is Facebook, that is Instagram, that is Blue Sky, that is what else? YouTube, Spotify. Like, our stuff is pretty much everywhere. We will continue to upload and put things out on a weekly basis. We got to get better at that. We will. Follow us on the socials because we announce ahead of time what we're going to do so you can keep up with us on the review that we're going to do next. Obviously, it is official. It will be Return to Silent Hill next week, so please tune in for that. But yeah, this was fun. I enjoyed it. I had a good time watching the show. It's a nice little comparison and a comparison piece to Stranger Things. I think if you watch them back to back, I think you'll have a good time. Just don't go into it chapter 1 and 2 right away. Maybe give it a minute. But outside of that, I am Luke Walters. That is Anthony Stormont, the Dreaded Fiend. We have been your hosts for the Wannabes podcast. Thank you again for hanging out with us. And for Morgan, who is not here, make sure you don't what?
Don't forget the popcorn, or Pennywise will eat your children.
You all have a great night. You've been wonderful. Bye, guys.
Laters.